Loved ones, MasterPath, it's simply the most profound and highest teaching that you will ever discover on this planet. Does that mean that it's a mistake if you don't go for MasterPath? Oh no, not at all. Because in truth, the highest teaching is the one you're called to. It makes no difference that MasterPath is what it is. It's a very wonderful path back to God and back to our own self. I love that you're checking it out, but don't let anyone squeeze you in a corner. You're here to check out the path and the master and the tenets, and that's just fine. That's a good enough reason. Listen with an open heart. Be objective if you can. But even though I know what this path is and where it's come from and what it's supposed to do, it still doesn't mean that you're to follow. You're more than welcome to follow if you feel the call in your heart, if you feel drawn. But the highest path is the path you're called to, whether Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, I don't care, some psychic study, astrology, whatever. All paths, you should know, have value. There's no path out there that you can call evil, and there's no path out there you can call completely good. All paths represent a part of the divine being, and they have something to offer and something to teach one. We've all been part of numerous paths and endeavors, and we've learned something from each pursuit. Okay, and that's a good way to approach it. The MasterPath, though, for you new seekers is quite unique, and it's called the MasterPath because it's the path of mastery. This path is not a religion. It's not a psychic study. It's not a philosophy. There's no organization on the MasterPath per se. It's all an inward endeavor to find your own spirituality within yourself. We've been told since the beginning of time that we're nobody. We're evil sinners, or we're so heavily burdened with our karmas, or we're so dumb or ignorant that we have to pursue spirit from the synagogue, from the church, from the temple, from these sacred scriptures, from these particular people. And all of that is not true. Each individual, let's just say this is you, each individual has their own spirituality innately planted within them since the beginning of time. Whether you believe it or not, like it or not, understand it or not, it doesn't make any difference. If you can walk around in the physical body, then you've got a soul inside of you that is animating and giving energy to the limbs of your body, to your physical, emotional, and mental being. And you are alive and you are well, and this is simply the way it is. Now, if you have a human body and you're alive, then you have this spirituality within you, because at the heart of yourself is what we call the soul. Soul is our supreme identity, our truest of essences. And this soul, loved ones, is immortal. And it's a spark of the supreme deity. Call it God, if you like. It's flawless, it's blemishless, it's pure. It knows all things. It can travel to any part of the outlying universe. It can come to know itself, be itself, and see itself. And all of this resides within every human being. Now, before human beings, a lot of people wonder, where did human beings come from? Did they come from the ape? Were they created all at once? Did they descend from the astral plane or the causal or mental plane? Just where did they come from? Well, the simple answer is you came from God. Drop everything else. This is where you came from. Now, God, in the MasterPath teachings, is not the conventional God or the traditional God of religions. Traditional religions is situated right here. We call him God in the West. The East calls him Brahm. And I want you to know that this particular power right here created the worlds and our bodies and all of the life that exists down below, but it did not create the soul. And there's a truer, wiser, and more loving God above. This is what MasterPath maintains, and this is where these teachings will take you, of course, if you're receptive to them. The point I'm trying to make for the new seekers is that when you were created, when you were in soul form, before you even came into the worlds, the supreme path was placed within the heart of the soul. The way to get back to the Father's kingdom was literally, not figuratively, literally placed within the heart of soul. And therefore, every soul is its own religion. Every soul has its own spirituality, and every soul has an indelible connection with the Supreme Father, whether it's operational or not. And in the MasterPath, what we're interested in is taking the individual, the personality ego, what you're in right now, teaching it how to retire inward and to go through what we call the third eye, the aperture right up here between the two eyes, and to go into your own inner temple and there meet your soul, meet the true spirit, and meet the true Lord. And MasterPath teaches, and it can be proven for those that walk this particular doctrine, that all spirituality is contained within one, and that you don't have to go out seeking someone else's spirituality, like in the church or the ashram or some temple or some particular psychic science. We believe that we need to do this. Our mind is convinced it has nothing inside its head except its accumulated knowledge and the truths it's learned by its own studies. And we've been taught that we must go outside and beseech the help of some spiritual authority or some spiritual doctrine and subjugate and submit ourselves to that. The MasterPath says, well, that's fine, and you will learn many things by doing that, but you won't be able to obtain your heart's desire of getting back to your true self or getting back to the true God, because your search is outside. You've gone outside to find what only exists inside. And so the MasterPath is the teaching of learning how to consolidate your energies that are scattered all throughout your body, bringing them to a pinpoint here in the third eye and penetrating the third eye aperture, or the single eye, as Jesus the Christ put it. That is technically what one is attempting to do on the MasterPath.